I'm Matt Bishar with Nareit, here in Hollywood, Florida for Nareit's REITwise, the 2018 Law, Accounting, and Finance Conference. Joining me today is Paula Maggio, former Executive Vice President, General Counsel, and Secretary with RPAI and Strategic Hotels. Paula, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, how would you characterize the role of a REIT General Counsel in contributing to, quote-unquote, the tone at the top of a company?
I mean, we know tone at the top is so important. You're hearing about it everywhere. I think the GC's role as an influencer of corporate culture is so important. The GC's role lends itself to being involved in this because of its role with, the code of conduct, insider trading, compliance, risk. It's really important that the GC have a seat at the table and be recognized as someone who's really important on the management team. I think to really influence the tone at the top, the GC has to, ideally, has to report to the CEO, which doesn't happen in all cases. I think about 67% of the time is the statistics I've read. The GC has to have a really good open relationship with the board of directors. The GC needs to, although be very involved with management and have a seat at the table, also has to be viewed as independent. Folks need to recognize that the GC works for the company and not the management team. I think when you put all those things together, the GC plays a really big role with tone at the top.
Now, what's been the most important thing that you've learned about the interaction of REIT management and REIT boards?
I think the key is communication. I mean, we all know the board is there to oversee the company. If they have questions, they need to be answered openly, thoroughly, collaboratively, and I think those, that openness of communication and that relationship building is so important. Building the relationship in the good times, so when the bad times come, and hopefully they don't, but if they come, you have a really strong relationship with that board. They trust you, you trust them, and it will really help during those troubled times.
And lastly, what skill sets do you think are most important for a truly effective REIT General Counsel?
I think similar to the board, working with the board, is relationship building. That's critical. People need to trust the GC. The GC, again, has to be asked to sit at the table and be involved in making decisions and helping make decisions with the rest of the management team. I think the GC needs to be a problem solver, not a problem creator. I think most GCs understand that. I mean, it's really critical that you're there to be creative in trying to achieve the business objectives for the company within the right risk framework.
Paula, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
For more from REITwise, be sure to visit Nareit's website, REIT.com.